everybody, it is Steve, your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome. Welcome back to another video over here on That's Comical. And of course, if you happen to be watching and it's a Wednesday, happy new comic book day. I know that there hasn't been much content showing up on the channel, even though I constantly promise you, but look, what can I tell you? Particularly myself being the father of now an almost 2-month-old, it is not that easy to really sit down and dedicate a lot of time for content. But look, I love you guys, I appreciate the support, even though there are still very few of you. I really hope the word gets out, but I am still trying to get the crew over here together to sit down for a meeting and figure out what we're going to do in terms of getting some content out to you guys. And more importantly, I know that this specific video is a little bit late, but again, father, not going to the movies right now, so I had to wait until this specific movie showed up on Disney Plus in order for me to review it. So at this point in time, I am going to have no issues throwing out spoilers for one and all, because I'm pretty sure everybody else who is watching this has seen this movie. I am officially reviewing the newest installment to the MCU, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, featuring the return of Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Benedict Wong, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and newcomer Xochitl Gomez. I sure as hell hope I got that correct in terms of pronunciation. So we now officially go into one of the most anticipated and probably the most skeptical of all the MCU movies showing up in Phase 4, merely because of the fact that there was a lot going on regarding this specific movie, with the loss of Scott Derrickson as the director, and having Sam Raimi show up to take the director's chair for this film, and hopes of the fact that we would actually get a very exciting and epic film based on the premise and based on what we got in Spider-Man No Way Home. So the question is, did we actually get that movie? Well, I will personally say definitely yes, but there definitely were a few problems. I will just go straight off the bat and say I still had a great time with this film. And I'm also really happy that I finally, thanks to being a YouTuber, took the time to watch Sam Raimi's horror epic Evil Dead, because my goodness, I would never have expected Sam Raimi to put so much of himself as a director into this movie, because there are points in time where this movie does feel like a comic book movie, but there are a lot more times where this movie feels like a flat-out horror film, and you will see so many familiar Sam Raimi vibes while you're watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So in this film, Doctor Strange actually unites with Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and Wanda is not necessarily one of the best people in the world right now, because, of course, if you have seen WandaVision, you know what she just went through, and you know how that one-season TV show on Disney Plus ended and where we were going. So Wanda is actually the main villain of this movie, all because of the fact that she just wants that life that she built for herself to return to her, particularly to get her twins, Billy and Tommy, back. Now, as a comic book fan, one of the best stories that involved the Scarlet Witch in the early 2000s was Brian Michael Bendis' House of M, which is loosely taken into this story. A world where Wanda completely loses her mind because she has built a life for herself, only for Doctor Strange and Professor Xavier to tell her, this is not real, you need to come back to reality, and then what she does is something that would shake up the Marvel Universe in the comics. But in the movie, it's not exactly the same, but she is now officially going through the multiverse, and basically, nobody is safe from getting in her way for the purposes of her finding her kids again and having that happy life. And Doctor Strange, with the help of a mysterious girl who knows how to jump through the multiverse named America Chavez, is assisting him, and she is also being hunted by the Scarlet Witch because of the power to go through the multiverse. So Doctor Strange definitely encounters some very interesting characters, some very interesting worlds, and there are definitely a lot of very very interesting fan services given to us. I will still say that one of the best parts, even though a lot of people are not too fond of it, is the moment where he meets the Illuminati. Now, maybe it's because of what happens to the Illuminati that's not what people wanted to see. There was a monstrous fan service moment there where we finally see Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, along with Patrick Stewart returning as Charles Xavier, and you hear the 1992 X-Men animated series in the theme song in the background when he rolls out on his yellow hover chair. Oh my goodness, that made my heart melt. But also to know that John Krasinski, who everybody wanted to see played Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie coming out, who knows if that's going to be the case, but there he is in all of his glory, and we even get to see the return of Hayley Atwell as Captain Carter from the What If series, and we even get to see Lashana Lynch as a different version of Captain Marvel, where Maria Rambeau actually becomes Captain Marvel. So that was definitely fun to actually see. Not to mention an amazing score from Danny Elfman. I absolutely loved the music. But the thing that I will say in regards to this movie is there is one thing that Sam Raimi does not do well, and that is slow points and romance. As much as I love the first two of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, I wish the love story was not the main premise. And even though the main premise is not the love story between Doctor Strange and Christine, of course, reprising her role from Rachel McAdams, she's back as well, it just wasn't something that I really wanted to see, regardless of how much or how little it was part of the plot. He just doesn't know how to do romance, and my God, does he not know how to do slow moments in the movie, because those moments definitely dragged. But to be honest with you, those were the parts of the movie that I really didn't like, but the one thing that I truly wish that we didn't get here was the exposure of Kevin Feige's bold-faced lie. Now, you definitely need to see WandaVision to understand Wanda's motives in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If they would have given us a little bit more of moments from WandaVision so you could get a better understanding of seeing the movie and not having to worry about watching the show, it wouldn't have made a difference. But because of the fact that they give you so little, you now have to watch some of these MCU shows in order to understand the movies more, when Kevin Feige specifically said you didn't have to when he was announcing the films that were coming out in Phase 4. But I will say that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, at the end, I really did like it. The first of the two post-credit scenes is definitely cool. It was amazing to see a specific new actress joining the MCU, and I'm really curious to see, after what happened with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, will we get a Doctor Strange 3? And more importantly, who's going to direct it? But I am definitely going to see this movie again. I am definitely getting this movie on Blu-ray. It's actually already on pre-order. And now I have to wait for Thor: Love and Thunder, which ironically is coming out in theaters this week as I'm recording this video on Doctor Strange. I am also in the middle of watching Ms. Marvel, and I will definitely be giving you guys a review on that show soon, and I am just excited for She-Hulk when that show actually shows up. But in the meantime, everybody, I will say Doctor Strange was fun. I'm giving it a 3 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I will see you in the next one.